Comedy at the Carlson welcomes actor and stand-up comedian Dustin Ybarra tonight at 7:30.
Do you guys put your carts back at the grocery store? Yeah? You shouldn't do that. Yeah, if everybody did that, the cart guy wouldn't have a job. Yeah, you kind of feel like now, right? I push mine into the street just to help him out, you know? Job security, dude.
Comedian and actor Dustin Ybarra. Can't make it tonight? Well, how about tomorrow night, Friday, May 31st, 2 shows, 7 and 9, or Saturday, June 1st, for 2 shows, 7 and 9. You got to catch the hilarious Dustin Ybarra at Comedy at the Carlson. Lock those tickets down at carlsoncomedy.com.
The Red Wings are home this week. Tuesday has half-price tickets. Wednesday features a jersey giveaway to fans 21 and older. Thursday is a business person special at 11:05 a.m. For tickets, visit redwingsbaseball.com.
Jimmy Z's Plates and Shakes. Are you getting married soon? Yeah. How would you like to have something really unique at your reception? As people are leaving, have Jimmy Z's Plates and Shakes food truck there. They can get a shake for the ride. Yeah. You can decide whatever menu's available as people exit your wedding reception. I think that's kind of a nice touch. Like, that's a really cool touch. Find out more about doing that at platesandshakes.com. And if you need catering done, well, Jimmy Z's does that. And if you'd like to rent out the restaurant, maybe you want to get married inside Jimmy Z's Plates and Shakes. Hey, I bet they can make that happen. Platesandshakes.com.
Connors and Ferris, committed to serving.
Call Connors and Ferris at 262-COMP today.
Hey, man, it's Bill. This episode features a really insightful conversation with my friend, empathic psychic medium Jennie Marie, also known as Mama Medium. Now, I haven't seen her in a while, so it was so fantastic to catch up with her, but I love experiencing that positive energy that she always has flowing, and I believe it's going to shine through in the pod. Together, we lay out a blueprint for a better way to live. I'm serious. And how to use guidance from people like Jennie. In other words, it's going to get a little bit weird in here, and you're going to learn a lot about us. But my hope is that you find true value in our discussion. We'll dive into it all right after this.
Leo's Bakery and Deli.
And Cafe.
So sweet, so sweet.
East Rochester.
Just like you, Cobblestone on Main took a moment this Memorial Day to honor our heroes, and now they're back to delighting your taste buds with their incredible creations. Craving something fresh? You got to try the Cobblestone salad. Mixed greens, Chèvre cheese, candied walnuts. You like the way I said that? Chèvre cheese. Candied walnuts, dried cranberries, all tossed in a zesty lemon thyme vinaigrette. Perfect for lunch or dinner. It's light, it's airy, it's just what you need in this nice warm weather. Check out their full menu at cobblestoneonmain.com and taste the magic at 109 West Main Street in the Village of Webster.
From the Mac of All Trades studio in Fairport and driven by Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, it's Billified, the Bill Moran Podcast.
Well, hello and welcome. Thanks for getting your pod on. Thanks for telling a friend. That's how we spread the word about the pirate ship. Very excited today because I don't get to have weird conversations, and I actually called some people off and said, this has got to be a one-on-one. This has got to be a one-on-one. Mama Medium, Jennie Marie. So nice to see you, and I have so many questions.
It's amazing to see you. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, please. Are you kidding? That's why I really did. I thought I knew Kevin wanted to be in here, and Kevin even sent me a message going, hey, she still owes me for introducing you guys years ago. And I said, and I know, and I just said, I think this one needs to be kind of a one-on-one because I've been on this weird trajectory, and I thought it'd be fun to just kind of just see your perspective and beliefs and things like that. But we'll go back to the beginning. You on your website, and I think everywhere, are known as a 4th-generation empathic psychic.
Yeah, you did it.
Yeah.
Medium, psychic medium.
Psychic medium.
Yes,
okay.
You did it.
So let's start at the beginning. Where are you from originally?
Rochester, New York.
Rochester. Okay, so right here. And your whole family,
Yeah, we're all from here.
So at what age do you realize you have the gift?
I think that's a loaded question.
Okay.
I don't know if I realized that I had a gift until like late 20s.
Okay.
I was 7 when I saw my first dead person.
You saw them. You can see the vision.
Well, my parents had pine doors and like there was knots, right? In the pine and the wood.
Yep.
So a knot was a face. I'm actually getting chills right now talking about this.
Okay.
And every night it would tell me to kiss my great grandfather. Like, but we're Italian Catholics. We saw each other 4 times a week. Like we're always kissing and hugging. And it kept telling me, and we had just moved a little bit farther out to Bergen. I actually went to high school in Bergen. And I didn't understand, but I was 7, right?
Yeah.
So I remember saying to my grandma, I called him GGP, why haven't I seen him? And everybody kind of blew it off. And then the face was like relentless. But I thought I had an imaginary friend.
Yeah.
But why was my imaginary friend talking about I remember talking to my friends like, what does your imaginary friend talk about? And they're like, Barbies. I'm like, oh, well, mine's talking about my grandpa. So finally they took me to see him and he had an inoperable brain tumor. They wouldn't let me see him in the hospital.
So you had never met this person?
No, I did. He was my best friend.
Okay.
But I hadn't seen him in such a long time.
Right.
And this face kept telling me, like, push to go see him and give him a kiss and a hug.
Oh,
like,
some other face.
the face in the door.
Oh, gotcha.
So my imaginary friend's telling me to go see my grandpa. They finally took me to see him. He was in a consultation room. I'll never forget this. His arm was in a sling. He couldn't talk. They said he didn't know who I was, but he cried when I walked in.
Yeah.
Died 24 hours later. That was it. It was over.
Okay, so it was almost as though he was waiting for you.
Right? Weirdest thing.
Well,
At 7, though, you don't understand. I have
of
chills
course
right
not.
now. Over, done with, never talked about it again. When I was 12, I had this premonition. I was on the way to a soccer game. I played soccer, and we were on the bus, and I closed my eyes for a second, and I saw the whole team around somebody on the field, and there was an ambulance on the field. So in my vision, I'm like looking through everybody on the field. I'm like, where am I? How am I not in this circle? Oh my God, I'm going to get hurt. So then I got paranoid and anxious. You're 12, right? No, what happened is for the first time ever, I went to the bathroom in the middle of the game. When I came back, Chrissy Cooper broke her ankle. And they were all in a circle around. I was like, oh my God. So I told my friends, I'm like, you guys, I saw that. They're like, Jenny, you're overreacting. Never thought that premonition meant psychic.
Well, everybody tells you you're crazy.
Right. They kept saying, Jenny, you're so paranoid.
Yeah.
You didn't make this up, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Whatever. I was 12. I didn't care. I wanted to fit in. So, little time goes on. Not ever saying the word psychic, not ever saying the word medium. Use the Ouija board. It worked every time. But we're still not using that word. We're just saying, oh, it's Ouija. It's great. It's fun. And then I kind of ignored it. And then in my 20s, I was like, whoa. Oh, sorry. I'm starting to... I know things I shouldn't know. I have feelings I shouldn't know. I know when I shouldn't stand next to somebody because their energy. I'm starting to see it just started to morph into, okay, there's a little bit more than playing Ouija or having an imaginary friend. So I really didn't realize until late 20s.
But so when you say fourth generation, nobody in the family talked about this to you or said, hey.
Well, I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry.
No. That I want you to.
We did, but it was we were raised so Catholic. It was very taboo. So my great grandmother was from Italy and she came over and she read tea leaves. Okay. But it was like very quiet, and you would go to, Grandma Jenny's house and she would read your tea leaves, but she wouldn't tell everyone she could do that. So she had 5 children. My uncle became a priest. So then everything shut down.
Sure, because this stuff would be considered power from where?
It's witchcraft, right? You're demon.
Yeah.
I have chills. However, growing up with him, he would always say to me, you and I are more alike than you know. And I kept saying, I'm never going to be a nun. It's not my jam. I'm not going to be a nun. But come to find out, he went into priesthood because he was gifted, and everyone thought it was demons and witchcraft. Yeah. He, at that time, was actually one of 500 priests in the world to be ordained in exorcisms because he believed in the other side and speaking and connecting. And then my grandma had my mom and her twin, and they're gifted. They're clairaudience, so they have very vivid dreams. I do not have the dreams.
So but the family never really talked about it. This is so interesting because I always think that religion...
That's exactly it.
Yeah, it's a governor, right? It's like a governor on an engine, to me. And I feel like it's trying to get you to be a certain way or to believe a certain thing. And so you become conditioned. And I won't get into my stuff yet, but I'm just saying, like, it's just interesting to me to say that all of this, which you have been very public about, which we'll get to in a minute, was very underground in the family. It was known, but not spoken of.
100%.
Right,
and in this field, I hate to say it, it's not networking. So my mom was like, you'll never be stronger than me. And my other aunt was like, I'm stronger than your mom. But we couldn't talk about it publicly. It was like all in this weird...
Stronger how?
Gifted.
Yeah,
it's ego.
Yeah.
But I love that you say that about religion because you know what the best thing is? There's no religion in heaven.
No. But
We're idiots.
I mean, this is the thing. I mean, some people tell you there's no such thing as death. We cease to exist in this form. There are those that'll tell you that what you are here is 2% of who you really are.
All right.
And your non-physical being is greater than your physical being.
Of course.
So those are just, but that not to get too weird. So no one told you what to look for or no, really, no. Hey, Jenny, I've noticed this about you. And as this progresses and you get older, you're going to notice you have these things. And here's some ways to, I don't know. Here's the rocks to step through the stream, so to speak, right? Here's the path. No.
But I did tell my grandma, hey, maybe I'm a little bit different. And she said, we know. Okay. And I said, I'm a little bit more sensitive. I can feel things. She said, we know. We're just not telling everyone.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that meant. We're just not going to tell everyone.
My family did that, but it was when my aunt had to go to summer school. They didn't want to admit it, so she was writing letters to her uncle on the front step, of the house. So that was a different kind of secret. But it is an old school. Like I come from very Irish Catholic, right? Still have family in Ireland, and there's strong beliefs in what would be. I don't think it's an accurate term, but mysticism.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
I remember, this is one that I just always laughed at. My grandmother, and it just popped up on Facebook. I guess her birthday would have been 6 days ago. She died 7 years ago. She would have been 103. But she believed that unicorns existed. Okay? And when Barnum and Bailey Circus, I don't remember this, in the 80s, they fused a goat's horn together and made a unicorn and had to come around. And she had an argument with everybody. See, I told you they exist, but they didn't. They, I don't know whether they do or they don't. I've never seen it. Yes, but she was very, 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 she and I were very close. But this is so weird that I can't. So tell me, the first time you open up to someone outside of the family about the gift, and go beyond being a 12-year-old girl, because I think that would be chalked up to, now I never had daughters, I only had sons, but there was one that I regretfully sometimes would say to, you're a dramatic little girl, which is horrible, and I have since even apologized to him for that. But I did do that. But I would say, would that be written off as a dramatic little girl at 12 years old? And so when you become an adult in your 20s, what was it like the first time you said to admitted this gift to someone?
I think because of that.
Or shared the gift, I should say.
Right? Because of, you're so sensitive, you're so emotional. I was a truth speaker, not knowing that maybe it was the future. Because of that, I tiptoed. I was nervous. I didn't want to label it. I didn't want to say psychic. I didn't want to say medium. Yeah. Actually, Mike was the one who was like, hey, it's obvious. Yeah. I don't really remember exactly because I was cutting hair at the time out of my house.
Okay.
And, I had regulars and they would just ask me questions and I just knew things. But we never labeled it, if that makes sense. But it was always like, Jenny, can I get your advice? Jenny, and it was always right. So I don't know. I guess it was kind of easy because we just kind of melded into it. Of course, I'll tell you what I know, and it would be gut feelings. At that time, I started taking notes and then going back and be like, whoa, how the hell did I know that? Where did that come from? Right. So that was a little bit different, but I still never reached out to anyone anywhere because I was nervous. I don't know, right? I don't know. I wanted everyone to love me. I wanted approval. I wanted to make sure I wasn't different because my family kept telling me how different I was.
Right.
It was hard. It was a weird transition, to be honest.
It's a weird thing, when you were saying when you were 7, right? Yeah. Whatever the family was saying to you. I say this all the time, and somebody who made these coasters put a bunch of my sayings from the podcast on there. Those are different ones, but this one is sayings that I say on the podcast. And one of them isn't really mine, but it was what I remember, and I've been told I'm wrong by people in my family. That Jesus said, go forth and tell no one, that he could see you in your pure positive form. When you came dripping your illness, Jesus saw you in your pure positive whole form. Yes. And so when he healed you, what he would say was, from what I remember, go forth and tell no one. And the reason was because when you go back there, and all of a sudden I see your husband's here, and I'll use him as an example. I come back, and my ear had been falling off, and now it's back, and I see Dilf, and I go, look at Jesus do this. And he says to me, Give it about a week.
Right.
And then the doubt comes back in, which I call resistance. And so the resistance to the pure positive. And I often wonder, like with a gift like that, are there people who have it that are just afraid because we have put the governor of religion and every other thing on here, and we have to do it this way. If we don't do it this way, it's the wrong way. And I just wonder. I don't know.
I agree.
This is my feeling.
I agree with you. I have chills when you say this. So chills means the other side's telling me yes, right?
Yeah.
So I agree with you.
Yeah.
I actually love that you use that because I feel like I live in Texas, right?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Big Bible.
Huge.
Not okay who I am and what I do down there.
Really?
Yeah. I've had some people pull me aside that's been like, I've prayed to release your demons. And I'm like,
as though you're possessed.
Right, but I was raised Catholic. I'm still praying to the same God you're praying to. Just because I'm gifted. But I used this one time and probably shouldn't, but I said, I also pray to Jesus. Do you? And she was like, well, yes. And he responds. And I'm like, he's a dead guy. I literally looked her in the face and said that in the hockey rink bathroom. Yeah. I was like, okay, we're both talking to a dead guy.
I grew up in a very Irish Catholic family. And I've told this story many times in different forms of media that I've been on, that I don't know if I've ever admitted this. My dad, I was told by my grandmother, my mom's mom, that my dad had been in the seminary and left. He never really discussed that with me and left. And then he went to Fisher and my mom went to Naz, and that's how they met. And when I was 7, they decided that the Catholic Church wasn't enough. My dad was a philosopher. He had a doctorate in philosophy. And so we went to a more Baptist, evangelical type church. But that would align more with Protestantism, which was Northern Ireland. And my mom's dad would not speak to her for almost a year.
Because of religion.
Yes, because of religion, yes. And to the point where my grandmother, when I was 7 or 8 years old, would pull me aside and ask me, do you have communion? And basically, like, she thought it was the blood of lambs in sacrifice. And do you know what I'm saying? Like, this crazy shit. And I go, this stuff is insanity. And it's unfortunate because it tears families apart. Wars. People
100%.
have died. We don't talk about what goes on in Ireland, or what, not so much now, but what went on for so many years. A car bomb was not a thing my grandmother thought was a fancy drink that we should be drinking. It should be named something else because people died. But when you look at the history of the world, it's not one of the wars we talk about. But you look at all the ones, they come down to basically a religious belief.
Isn't that crazy?
And yes, it's sad. It's truly sad to me.
I'm thankful in 2024, so many people are opening their eyes.
Yeah.
Why'd you hesitate? I feel like they are. I mean,
I think people are. I don't know if they're opening their eyes or seeking answers. And I think,
can it be the both?
Yes, it certainly can. Yes, you have to open your eyes in order to seek answers. Yeah. So the answer is absolutely. You are correct. I immediately thought of the election when you thought that.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes I wonder if this next election will be the lowest turnout in the history of presidential elections because of the people that are there. Just that there's such an apathy towards both candidates at times. I mean, different parts of the world. I know where you live. I know where I live. I know where my kids live. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've been down in Alabama in the South, so it's it's there. But I'm just saying, besides the loudest voices, I think the majority is pretty silent on this stuff.
Agreed.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah. But
so I think seeking answers and opening their eyes.
Yes, agreed. Yeah. I was just going to say, but I still feel like that's a thing.
We'll take a moment in a second, but I want to ask you, what is the hardest part about this gift? Is there one for you? Or is that even a fair question to ask?
Yeah, okay. There's a lot of cons. There's a lot more pros than way cons. I don't want to say the hardest because I'm not sure there's just one hard. When I have to read, like last night, the last reading at Iron Smoke, it's just sticking with me because it was right there. It was to a mother and a sister whose son committed suicide. Mm-hmm. So it's not just that I'm relaying messages, but I have to feel what he feels. And honestly, it made me cry. And then I think about my kids. Like it's so relatable, and it puts me in this loop. And I can't imagine being a mom and losing my son. And she was flat out angry. And then I'm crying because he's crying in heaven and the sister's crying. And it's not that it's a con. I think it was amazing and wonderful. But then it makes me come back to my 3D body and say, I'm a mom. Yeah. What happens here? Am I I know it sounds silly, but that's
it doesn't. I think it's the human element, right?
Right. And other parts is that I think I can turn it off, but I really can't. So sometimes the craziest things hit me just when I'm out and, with the kids. And then somebody walks in and I'm like, oh God, there's an angel following them and they're going to die in 2 days. And do I approach them? Do I not approach them? I mean, there's so many cons, if that makes sense. There's not so many. I lied. There's a few. The pros are way bigger, but there are some things that, and then sometimes I think to myself, did I relay that message in the way that the soul would have done it here? I feel like maybe they weren't as receptive as I wanted them to be. And I say to Mike all the time,
so you second guess.
But that's me overthinking. But in the moment, I'm like, no, this is what they want me to say. But then I'm like, I hope I did it right.
Okay, so that leads me to the question of where do you think that the gift comes from for you?
I don't know.
Like source?
Is it source? I don't know how to answer that for sure. I think we all have it. I think I was born with it. This is deep. I believe in reincarnation. So I feel like in a past life, maybe I messed up and I'm going to come back. But don't worry, your intuition is going to be really strong. You're going to figure it out. You're going to figure out how to help others. You're going to heal others, which is going to heal you. Like I feel like there's a digger, but yes, from source, from God, universe, however you want to say it. Yeah. And then I just figured out.
Just sort of the conduit then by which
a portal. I tell everyone I'm a portal.
So then, right, and I don't, and to me that's sort of minimizing it. But I would also think then when you're done and you realize what has happened, I think the biggest thing that I think we all need to learn to control is the knee-jerk reaction to things.
100%.
So my knee-jerk reaction to, oh my God, I just crushed this person, or I said something, or I do it the right way. You probably did it wonderfully or perfectly. And whether or not they were lined up to hear it isn't really your job.
And I will say that I do say this every day. So yes, I'm still Catholic. I'm Catholic to a
fault.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm like, I haven't been to church in a hot second. It might burn. But I feel like every morning I do say my Our Father. And then right after that, I say, put whoever I'm supposed to help in my way. Yeah. I don't care about money. Yeah. Just don't let me forget about, paying my bills. Please let me be have as much clarity as I can and use me to be in a healing closure way. I don't want my gift to instill anxiety. I want it to be healing and closure because that's what I would want. Yeah. So as I'm relaying the message, if I say something funny or witty, and that's because I can feel them being vulnerable, and I would want someone to say that to me that way. Yeah. So I do try really, really hard to live in that moment, right? Because when we live in the moment is when less doubt creeps in.
Yeah, I would say that that's very true. I think that your only purpose is in the moment. You have choices. You make the choice that feels the best in that moment,
right? And
then do it to the fullest without any worry about any worry of the results.
So you're feeling that's your intuition.
Yeah.
You got to feel it, and you have to live in the moment to make the best decision.
Yes.
And that's where you get the highest and best clarity. That's what meditation is.
Yes.
Put you in that moment.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the best.
It is the best. It is the best. So what is the best part of it then? The opposite end of the stick. I ask you about the cons, but what's the best?
Oh my God. There's so many.
Yeah.
First of all, I feel like I'm actually physically on this three-dimensional plane healing souls.
Yes.
I honestly, truly believe that my gift, I don't want to call it mine. A lot of people have gifts, but the gift helps people in a way that maybe they couldn't find for themselves. Right. And that's the whole relatable thing. Like I'm broken. We're all broken. But when I'm healing somebody else, it heals a little bit of me. I also feel like, I actually have chills right now. I also feel like it's that positivity, sharing high vibration, right? We all love to be near high. And I work really hard on trying to keep my vibration high. Just if we're standing next to each other in the checkout line and I look over and I'm like, you look really great today. And then walk away. I feel like $1 million. It could change your whole freaking day. Yes, I love all of that. And I think my intuition tells me to say it when and to who at the exact moment.
Right. Okay.
Look how excited I got.
I can see it. I get it. Why don't we just take a quick moment? We'll come back. I want to talk to you about sort of my beliefs and things, and then I have questions, but I can't have these conversations with many people.
And I appreciate that.
I really can't. And I want you to know that I'm coming from just a sincere, open space.
And I appreciate
So when I
that.
ask these questions, I don't want you to feel like it's a got you. I'm not, none of that shit.
I can read your energy.
Yeah, I don't do that. All right.
We're good,
Okay.
we're good.
All right. We will get to that next. But first, BTB Wood-Fired Pizza and Grill is the perfect place for food fanatics. It's the end of May, and you know what that means. It's your last chance to sink your teeth into the BTB Wood-Fired Pizza and Grill's Rock Crunch Wrap Special. A juicy burger, creamy mac salad, crispy onions, and melty American cheese, all wrapped in a crunchy tortilla. Are you drooling? Yeah, wipe off your chin, because that's not all. It comes with multi-award-winning meat hot on the side and your choice of fries or chips. I know I sound like a broken record, but BTB never fails to blow my taste buds away. My taste buds are in full-blown love with BTB's food. Thirsty? Well, you can wash it all down with May's Draft of the Month, the UFO Blueberry. It's a hazy, delicious blueberry wheat ale that's the perfect companion on BTB's cozy patio as you're kicking back and relaxing and letting the day just kind of drip off you. And save room for dessert. For one more week, you can indulge in the drumstick pie, a sugar cone crust, vanilla ice cream, a layer of chocolate, and topped with crushed peanuts. It's like a carnival in your mouth. And college students, BTB's got a deal for you. Flash that valid college ID, get 30% off your bill. That's right, 30% off food and drinks, because who needs ramen when you've got BTB? BTB Wood-Fired Pizza and Grill, the place to be at the Mall at Grease Ridge.
Victor Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, Route 96 in Victor. And online at victorcdjr.com.
We're in one of the coolest places on earth, and it's all thanks to spots like Iron Smoke Distillery, right here in Fairport, New York, baby. Iron Smoke is where handcrafted spirits meet exceptional quality, ready to delight your senses and ignite your passion. Whether you're a whiskey connoisseur or maybe you're just starting your journey, Iron Smoke has something special for you. And if you want a behind-the-scenes look, you can schedule a tour by emailing Scully on their website at ironsmokedistillery.com. Tonight, you're going to want to get to Iron Smoke Distillery. Thursday, May 30th, Iron Smoke is throwing the 100-ish days until Fairport Music Festival Bash, featuring Maggie and Ryan from Magnolia Boulevard and Mike Powell on the Echo Sound. $15 at the door, no pre-sale tickets, but you can grab Fairport Music Festival merchandise and the 2024 Fairport Music Festival admission bracelets. All donations welcome, benefiting Fairport Music Fest, Golisano Children's Hospital. Great music, great cause, great place. Unleash your taste for greatness at Iron Smoke Distillery in Fairport, New York, baby. Now, I play this for a couple reasons. One is, I don't think you age. You're forever young. You haven't aged at all.
Well,
You haven't.
Neither have you.
You haven't. And then Rod Stewart was a favorite of my Aunt Irene, and I don't know why. It just hit me to do that. I don't know if Aunt Irene's around or not. This is I always love when you're around, because I think people get nervous. Yeah.
Always.
So I went over.
Can that be a pro? Is when I walk into a room and men go like this?
Yes.
That sounds so horrible.
No,
that sounds horrible.
Amazing, actually. But I said earlier, and you said to me that I think this is a great time, and I said I think many people are seeking answers. I based that on the fact my mother was here. My son graduated college the same weekend as Mother's Day weekend, and my mom is a level 3 Reiki.
I love it.
Yeah, who doesn't sometimes buy into the whole thing herself.
What?
I don't know. No, she buys into it, but when it comes to her,
yeah.
person,
Yeah.
she gets all the weird human stuff. And I go, get, what are you doing? Get out of your own head. But we went over they were having a psychic fair at Iron Smoke. There was a line out and down the parking lot.
Yeah.
I mean, it was incredible. The readings were taking forever. And I always think people are seeking answers. So I have questions, because I'm not sure where. I'll tell you what my belief. I believe a belief is just a thought you think over and over, right? That's really all a belief is by definition. And I think that, and I was telling you that when I watched the eclipse, even though it was very cloudy here, and it's funny, my mom came up for that as well. And I'm watching it and I go, boy, we live wrong. We make it this hard thing. You know, the old Shakespearean what he wrote, Shakespearean quote of, you're but a player who struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more, which basically means you got a bunch of drama and then you die, right? You get caught up in all the bullshit and then you die. You're heard no more. And that's not the purpose. And I always think, like, I believe when you die, all resistance is gone and it's just bliss.
Done.
And all that stuff is just gone. And so we're not here in this form. We're not here, but you're around. You're around, your energy. Energy is eternal. That's been proven scientifically. You are energy, and this is a world of vibrations, and you can have or be or do anything you want, but you have to kind of tap into it. So here's where my weird stuff comes in. Because I started to tell you, like, I have this weird group that I get together with, and it's like once a month or so. And there's a lot of strange things that have happened in this group, but it's all really brilliant, highly educated people. And so the idea that some people will say there are multiple timelines, right? Okay. So, well, let me go back a little bit because I'm even going to confuse myself. I believe that anything you want
is yours.
Yeah.
I agree.
Okay, it's done.
I agree.
It's done.
That's manifestation.
Okay. So, okay, great. So now it's done and it's over here in the vortex. Or let's put it into an analogy that people can understand. It's in the cloud.
Done.
Okay. How do I get it out of the cloud? Well, I got to get the right computer. I got to get the right device. I got to get on the right vibration.
Right.
Okay. So, and I don't believe that you wouldn't want all the food you're going to eat for the entire year right now.
Right.
That's part of the journey.
100%.
Okay. So when people are coming seeking answers, right? And I want this today, and you've put things in your, I'll call it the cloud, your vortex, the cloud, that'll go 10 lifetimes. Mm-hmm. You couldn't live it all in 10 lifetimes,
right.
All the things, because you're always wanting. And contrast is a wonderful thing because it tells you what you do want and what you don't want.
Right.
Okay. So when people come to you and start asking and seeking answers and have questions and you tell them, and let's say it's something that they didn't like or don't want to hear necessarily, is it possible that you can change it a little bit to say, okay, there's the contrast. I know what I don't want. I know what I do want, and I'm going to go over here. Or is it done? Because there are those that say everything is already done. But what I wonder is it's already done. And if I line up with it, I can have it out of the cloud. But I also want this over here. And if I line up with it, I can have that over the cloud. And that's where some people will tell you there's multiple timelines. And you'll hear about, if you get into the really, for lack of a better term and a lack of vocabulary, called the deep weird.
Right.
The deep weird people will say they can skip timelines. There's somebody who goes around on YouTube saying, I didn't know how to play piano, but I went back in my timeline and I took lessons, and here I am today. And who knows, right? I mean, we can say this guy's a complete kook and nut, but I don't know. That's my thing. Is my biggest answer these days is I don't know. I don't know.
But that's the best, right? Because we're going to seek answers, because we're going to keep looking till we find answers. This is my thought process.
Okay.
I think there are our destiny in the cloud. Okay. I think manifestation is accepting, adapting to, we're not in control of timeline.
Yes.
We just have to align ourselves.
Yes.
We all know what the highest vibration is when we get the best and the highest. We feel the best. So
well, it's always that when you're in the zone. I try to say for
Perfect.
athletes, they're in the zone. That is your highest vibration.
100%. Right. Let's call it the zone.
Yeah.
When you're in the zone, you know you're going to get what you want.
Yes.
I think back to reincarnation, when you say, okay, I'm going to pick this body because I'm going to overcome this. I'm going to be stronger, but I have all these tools right here that I'm going to pull and get. And so when I meet my soulmate, I'm going to get to meet my soulmate, but it's going to be on the time that I chose it to be on the time, not the time I want 3-dimensionally.
Yes.
Right. So it's like all this thing, but you got to be ready. So when clients come to me and they say, you know, I need to find my soulmate. I need to X, Y, and Z, and I need it yesterday.
Yes.
You're never going to get it.
Right.
You're living in the past.
Right.
You're lowering your vibration because you're pissed that you didn't get it when you wanted to get it. You can't live like that.
No.
So what I always say is, say it out loud. I'm ready for my soulmate. Don't say I want tall, dark, and handsome. Don't say I want the pretty blonde, the 5'9".
Tall, dark, and handsome. I like to think that's me and Dilf.
It is DILF. But when I was asking for my soulmate, I had to surrender. I had to surrender that my choices, everything that I had done so far didn't get me where I wanted. And I knew in my soul I wasn't done. I knew that I had more to offer in a relationship. I'd been through a divorce. I think I told you that. So I would walk around out loud saying, I'm ready for my next chapter. I'm ready for my soulmate. One, because I wanted to align my vibration with what I knew was coming. Two, because I had to tell myself, conscious, release.
Yes.
You can't be in control. Your ego is your worst enemy. So when I'm talking to my clients and they're like, you know what, I really want this job. And, you know, I've been trying for this job forever. And they told me they're going to give it to me on May 1st. And now it's September. I don't understand what I did wrong. You didn't do anything wrong. It's just not time. Because if they had given it to you at May 1st, you wouldn't have been ready. Right. But whatever you've done between now and September to prepare yourself for this job, now the universe is like, okay, this is when it's going to be the best for you.
It's so funny you're saying this because I do a lot of weird stuff.
Same.
I do a lot of weird, like weird by other comparison. Like just for I think more the challenge of it, I take a cold shower and I have a timer. So I'm up to 1 minute and 52 seconds. I'm trying to get to 3 minutes in the cold shower, but I just go up a couple seconds each week. So I'm up to 1 minute 52. I was very proud of myself. I make sure I exercise, but I meditate for 15 minutes. And that's really, I find very hard at times, but I usually concentrate on my breathing or a sound in the room, and that's it. And then I'll think if a thought comes in, it's like my iPad. I just flip it away, flip it away.
I put mine in a cardboard box.
Okay. So, very similar. So I try to do that, and I sometimes come out of there, and sometimes thought comes in, and I go, well, I know that's not me.
Right.
So I think it's source or something, right? So all these things, and then I do wonder when you are lining up with things. I think I don't know. I'm starting to ramble here, but I think we try too hard to figure it out on our own, and you can get there
for sure
by hard work and grind. But those are words that are ugly, and people don't like them. Right. But when you have inspired work, you'll work forever. And you'll still get there, and you'll be happier. And who wants to be around the dick?
Right.
Who wants to be around the grumpy asshole?
Right.
Nobody.
That's that high vibration.
Right. So I always think like going for getting ready to be ready to be ready.
Yeah.
Is what I always think.
Perfect.
Get ready to be ready to be ready. And how do I do that? By going for the better feeling thought. If something doesn't feel right, I try to then, and not easy because I was often, you would hear people go, well, you just got to be positive. Positivity. Well, fuck you. Yeah. I'm sorry. You can't flip it like that. But what I can do is I can go from feeling like shit to, you know what? I actually did lose 5 pounds. And my belt did go a smaller thing. And I walked 3 miles today. And you can go up the emotional scale to the better feeling thought. And that's really where your wins are going to be. And when you stay there, that's where it is. And I think then you can find, and I think a lot of times what you do is probably get people to try to shine a light on that path, or someone's trying to shine a light on that path for someone.
For sure. It's getting out of your own head. I always tell everybody, celebrate the small victories because we miss them, right? We're always, I should have done better. I didn't do it right. That'll keep you down here. You're never going to get it right. 100%. Yeah. So, my whole thing is I'm a large woman, hate exercise with a passion. Okay. I do not have that gene no matter how hard. But my brain says if I just move, I'll be okay. Yeah. So as I'm moving, I'm like, oh my God, I'm moving. I'm doing movement because I sit at my desk all day if I'm not at a show. But my brain somehow is wired to say movement. And then I'm like, oh, I'm raising my vibration because I'm moving. I'm moving. But in my mind, I'm not like, I'm walking 19 minutes because I got exercise. I'm moving because I feel good and I'm going to listen to the birds and I'm going to feel really great and I'm going to live in the moment, right? So I just have to rewire my brain. I have chills.
This is what I think. And I'm so, because I'm telling you, there are people who are going, what the fuck is he saying?
I know, and I love it.
He's crazy. You can't. And I'm going, no, you can. And if you actually when you focus on things, okay, so probably the biggest thing and I wonder if it's the biggest question you get, money, somehow financially related. I don't know if that's true or not.
That's not my biggest.
Okay.
Everyone asks, what's their purpose?
What's their purpose?
That's actually a bigger to me than money.
Really?
Because money is energy. It's frequency.
Well, that's what I think.
If you want money, it's coming.
I think that too. Yes. And I think, but we block it.
Of course.
I don't have enough. I can't. And, I even had, I have a bunch of things going on, right? I mean, my life took a dramatic twist. And I wanted to go to the Rolling Stones. I thought I'd go last weekend, and then all of a sudden something didn't work out. And my brother calls me and goes, hey, let's go to the Stones in Cleveland. And I'm like, awesome. And then I'm supposed to go on this trip and money and this and that. And I went, screw it. And I started to go, you know what? It is going to be there. And here's what I really believe. Here's what I really, really believe. And have you heard of Bashar? I don't know Bashar well.
No.
Okay. So Bashar is supposedly, again, somebody who wanted to be a conduit. And Bashar, supposedly, I had heard about this person, so I looked him up on TikTok, and I found these little TikTok things. And it was a lot of what you and I have said here already. The weird part is he's supposedly an entity from 300 light years away from another planet who is looking at us and seeing how we live and trying to say the human experience is you're doing it wrong, and here's the right way to do it. But I have always believed that there were a couple things that I look back, that the universe will support you in whatever you believe.
I agree.
It's a mirror. So if you want to believe that you have a lack of money, you will be supported in that. I think you are loved so unconditionally. And this is a thing that I think human beings are, I have argued this argument with people, but I think that they are incapable of unconditional love.
Of course.
I just do. I think there's always the condition somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And it's silly, but it's and fun. People go, I don't, but I think the human beings aren't. But I think the universe loves you so unconditionally that you will be supported in whatever you want. I think your inner being may not align with the fact that you believe there's a lack of money. That's why you feel shitty.
Huge, yes.
But when you have that belief, you're supported in it.
Yes, I agree.
It's like a mirror. Frown, it frowns back. Smile, it smiles back. And if you start to change a little bit and just believe that everything's okay, that it is, the universe puts nothing in it that it can't support.
Agreed. I agree.
I just think
I've lived it.
I know. That's why I was so excited. I was nervous you wouldn't come in.
Well, of course I come. I'm always coming when you ask. Yes, I lived it. That's how we got the show. That's how we got to where we are. That's how we moved to Texas. That's how I never. And like you, I don't know, whatever. I
wobble a lot.
I'm fully transparent. So I wing it. I wing so much stuff because my gut says yes, and I believe in all of that. And how can I sit here and preach to you and tell you if you do X, Y, and Z, you're going to get it, and then not do it myself?
Right.
You know, when Mike wanted to move to Texas, he said, this feels like home. And, you know, I made the joke. I'm like, bro, everybody's bro. I'm like, bro, this is why people have timeshares. Everybody on vacation loves it. He's like, no, Jenny, I really feel it. So I can't dismiss his intuition. So we came home on May 1st. We decided, hey, you know what? If we're supposed to be in Texas and we're aligning with Texas, let us know. Show us what we're supposed to do. We sold everything in 4 months, picked up and moved.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Nobody.
Right. And he said,
but
Jenny,
again,
I thought we had another year.
But if you said to people, this is what we're going to do, it comes back to my analogy of Jesus in that, well, you're crazy. It's never going to work. You're going to hate the South. It's too hot. They're very conservative. They're never going to like it. Your kids play hockey. They don't play hockey in the South. I mean, this is, am I wrong?
We've heard everything.
I'm sure. But yet.
We're thriving.
Yes. That's it. Yes.
We've defied all the rules. We broke them all.
This is my point. And your energy is so wonderfully high and contagious.
Well, thank you.
But that I think that is part of it. Because even for you, you know, there are couples who this ends them.
Right.
I'm not moving away from where my family is. This was my home. It's the only home I've ever known, blah, blah, blah. You didn't do that. No. You just went, good adventure.
Because he's my soulmate, right? We're soulmates. So there's no, you can't piss me off well enough because we're going to work through it. We're going to be together. But if he's telling me, hey, I'm hurting and I need out, then we're out. Yeah. Right? Do you know what? I don't know, but it's so funny because other people have said the same thing. I sold my lake house that my grandparents built. 39 years of my life. But he's my best friend. Like, we gotta go. Yeah. And that's just material. Yeah. How do I not know we're gonna have the best lake house of our life in Texas? Maybe that was just supposed to be for this part of my life. Yeah. And it's so small of me to think like I have to have this because I've had it for 39 years. You know what I realized? Those were my grandparents' memories. They weren't mine. Yeah. I was trying to keep my dead grandparents' memories alive. How can I not ignore him and my kids?
So that is where I have said, I've said to people, like, you go, sometimes, this will really bother some people, but sometimes relationships, jobs, homes, things are like a car. And
of course,
this car fits my life now, right? I drove a minivan. It doesn't fit my life now. I didn't like it. I wanted to get on to something else. And so I leave and I get into a different car and I get into a different car. And I know it's a very simple, based analogy, which really almost to some people cheapens life, but I think it's something that you can see, right? I had the Corvette when I only had 2 people in my life, right? And now I have a family and I'm driving an SUV or whatever it is. But because of, just like you're saying, different stages of life. That was then, this is now.
But I love that you're saying that, because to me, spiritually, that tells me you're growing. We all know people who don't grow.
Yeah.
We all know people who are stuck, want to grow, don't put the work in, don't want to do it. When bad things happen at them, it's worse. It gets worse and worse.
Yes.
You're saying, okay, I can't drive my Vetta anymore because now I have a family. That's okay. You leveled up.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be a dad. You're supposed to, right? It's when we're leveling up. If you're not leveling up and changing and you're stuck here, you're never going to find happiness.
I always believe, okay, now we get back to another weird thing. You ready for more weird?
Yes, I love weird.
Here comes more weird. I believe that the universe is always expanding.
Agreed.
We don't come here and start over.
Okay.
And I say that in that we're not back being hunter-gatherers again. We're here and everything is building upon what has been built.
Agreed.
Right? You know, we had Steve Jobs. We can credit him maybe for the problem of that fact that everybody's face is in the phone and they're getting hit by cars and kids aren't paying attention to us anymore.
Yes,
and all that.
agreed.
That's all
Agreed.
fine. I'm just saying, like, but everything from there expands and builds.
Agreed.
And I believe that the universe is ever expanding, and I believe that the creation and the creator or whatever source is always expanding. So I think with you have to look at your life as that way as well. If you're going to tune in, tap in, tune on, turn on, whatever it is, you've got to be able to expand.
100%.
Be open to that.
And it's always changing. You know, I tell my clients now, I started mentoring and I'm teaching some workshops, and they're like, well, how did you get to this point? And I said, well, this is how I got to the point, but I'm not done. Like, my point isn't done. Right. I'm still growing every single day, just like you.
Yes.
But I feel like people are like, oh, now that you're a medium, I'm like, whoa.
There's never an
I'm
end.
not done.
Right. Well, I always say this. This is what I've come to believe, because we can all beat ourselves up about a lot of things. You've been divorced. I'm legally separated. We have all these things. But I would say that we never get it wrong. We just never get it done.
Agreed.
And if you try to get it done, you won't.
Agreed.
So it's ever expanding.
Can I say one thing? My husband's going to not be happy with me about this, but going back to changing dimensions and quantum leaping, whatever you want to call it, I got to tell you this just because I don't think I've said it publicly on the air. Sorry, babe. So I met my first husband at a wedding. He was a Scorpio.
Okay.
And yada, yada, we get married. It doesn't work out. I meet my soulmate at a wedding and he's a Scorpio. Who does that twice in one lifetime?
Yeah.
So did I just jump timelines?
I don't know.
Right. Did I just jump to know? And wait, I had 2 boys with my first and 2 boys with my second. It's crazy. Did I jump timelines?
Yeah.
Did I just say, I know this is coming, so I'm just going to do it because I want it here and now? Or did I do it because I was destined to do it? I mean, this is where I struggle with that. But who says that in their lifetime?
I don't know.
That's the craziest shit, right?
Well, that's the thing is, and I don't know if the jumping timelines, but let me ask you something, because you talk about Mike being your soulmate.
Yes, sir.
And I'm sure that you get many relationship questions.
Always.
And I would think that people probably come to you and go, is this the right one? Or I'm married and this is this going to be? And is there a definitive answer? Because sometimes I think that, yes, like the car, maybe you've driven it far enough and it's time to get into a new car. Maybe. But I don't know that you have to give up on anything. I don't think the universe is telling you give up on something. I think you have to align with the best of anybody. I've come to almost believe in segment intending. See how fucking weird you get me? You're making me admit things I've never admitted.
I just did 2 on the air, by the way.
Yeah, but the segment intending would be like anytime someone enters the room, it's a new segment. So what are the positive attributes of that person that I want to pull forth? Even if they're a person that they're always such a pain in the ass and blah, blah. Okay, but there's got to be, what are the positive attributes of that person? And then if I focus on that, I would guarantee that I get that more than I get the other.
You mean like us having this conversation now
Yes.
and then moving on to the next thing in your life?
Yes, yeah.
What if I feel the same way, but I didn't like your term?
You don't have to like my term. That's
But I
why
think
we're
the
having a
same thing.
discussion.
So in my
That's why
mind,
I'm
wait,
open to this. This is
so
why I
fun.
said to you, like,
In my mind, I'm like, cool. I'm going to Bill Moran. It's going to be great. He's got great energy. He's going to ask me the coolest questions. And then in my mind, it's like I close the book chapter and I start another chapter.
Yes.
Because when I leave here, I'm going to do something else.
Yes.
I feel the same thing.
Yes.
I also feel like every moment of every day, I'm supposed to learn from it and I'm supposed to grow.
Yes.
So we're supposed to be having this conversation. I also think it's destined that we're supposed to be here right now having this because you're learning and I'm learning. Plus, we're both raising each other's vibrations.
Right.
Right? It's
Yes.
the coolest thing.
Yeah.
Plus, we're asking for it. I want to get stronger. I want to raise it. But you're agreed when I leave here, then I'm going to go to my next thing and say, okay, what am I going to get from that?
Right.
How am I going to make
Right.
that the best interaction? Same thing.
Yes.
You just messed me up with your words.
yeah, well, right. And I call it the segment intending
get
and
it.
pulling
I'm just
forth the best
joking.
attributes. But
Same.
so back to like the relationship thing. If somebody says and you go, well, like it looks like it's not going to work out or whatever, and I'm sure that something is telling you that. Could somebody then go back and go, oh, I don't know that I necessarily align up with that exactly. I see it, but what if I come over here a little bit and I start to focus on the positive attribute? Can things be fixed or changed in your mind, or no? Or is it definitive in that, and that's it? And this is where I said to you earlier, I'm not trying to trap you. I don't know the answer. So
You're good. I'm good.
not trying to, some people they go, well, gotcha, she couldn't answer that one. I don't know.
Oh, no, I always have an answer.
Yes.
I'm just checking with spirit. Did you see
Okay.
me go like this?
Yes, I did.
This is me checking with spirit.
Okay.
So this is my answer. Let me start with soulmates.
Okay.
I think we have more than one in every lifetime.
Yeah.
Soulmate means you've just walked on this earth before in a past life and y'all have agreed to do it again.
Okay.
So it could be brother, it could be dog, it could be cat. They're all souls. I don't care. It could be mom. It can be your spouse. There's more than one.
Yeah.
It could be your best friend.
Yeah.
It just means you've walked together and you've agreed to do it again. It's like a soul contract. I think that there is more than one soulmate for everyone on earth. Do I think everyone finds them? No.
Right.
Do I think free will plays a role? Yes.
That was the other thing.
That's why I feel, I'm getting to when you're saying like, so if somebody comes to me and says, am I in the right relationship? 90% of the time, they already know the answer.
Yeah, I would think they do too.
But every single one of us want validation.
Okay.
All of us do.
Right.
And knowing that I can connect with their past loved ones and I can see from heaven that I'm never going to give them a bad answer. So I will say this. I have a lot of regulars, right? A lot of regulars.
Sure.
And so we have conversations where, you know what? I had an out. This happened in the marriage and I had an out and I chose not to stay and now it's worse. You were right. How do I change it? How do I fix it? And it's not that I was right, but when you're asking me, I'm asking spirit to say, how do I make sure this person is on their right timeline?
Mm-hmm.
So I give them what I see. What you do with the information, I cannot change. And that is a snapshot of right today.
Yes.
So if a year from now, you're in the same place and you didn't do anything about it, Spirit's going to be like,
right.
I can't help you because I kind of gave you some guide, but we all do it. It's like,
so if it's guidance,
yeah.
Okay, and not a definitive, but more of a guidance.
Yes.
To say, you're right, you're feeling this, and if you continue this way, it will go that way. And it may be the best. I'm not here to tell you yes or no.
I tell people that all the time. I always say, listen to me, don't listen to me.
So
I'm
that's
just
very
giving you.
different. I'm so, God. Yeah. I don't know if I just got chills. Something happened. Something
it's
happened.
true.
Well, something
Because
happened because
that's true.
I think that a lot of times we think, okay, we hear something and go, but I don't want that, but I don't want that.
That's your ego.
Right, but then we have to step back and go, well, hang on a second. It's guidance. And clearly you were feeling this way. That's why you asked the question. So now try to step back, not have the knee-jerk reaction.
Right.
Give yourself some time and let the process play out. Let it unfold. Let it unfold, and the right answers show up. Answers show up.
I say to my clients all the time, well, whatever you've been doing on your own isn't working.
Yes.
So if you're coming to me for guidance, listen to what I have to say because you literally have nothing to lose. If you're not happy, why can't you just listen to what I told you? Why can't you just listen to what the universe is saying?
Yes.
Because if you're reaching out, your gut is like, hey, your soul's like, I'm not super happy, but your mind's like, I'm going to overthink it and I'm going to force it.
Yes.
I know, it's crazy.
Because we've been taught to grind it out and do it. And I
100%.
think that that's all kind of wrong.
I agree.
I go back to nothing's been trucked in here. It's all right here.
Yes.
You have the answers and you can do this. Everything's right here. No one's there. I'll ask this. People would disagree with this, and there's too many see it, touch it, feel it, smell it examples of it. But I don't believe there's assertion. I don't believe that there's any assertion on you. Like we'll say, well, I'm under their thumb. Everything that you have, you've attracted in some way. Everything you've done. I also would say this. I don't think things come out of the blue. I think they come out of the oblivion.
Of course. Nothing in life is coincidence.
Right.
Not one
thing. Comes out of the oblivion. Like, I didn't see it coming, but whose fault is that?
But you asked for it.
Yes.
Let's have this conversation. Yes. Like, I feel like some people are like, okay, Jenny, I'm going to try to make this marriage work. And I'll say, you know what? Then I will always support. I tell everyone, and I mean this, I will support you in any way.
Yes.
I've made my own decisions that I've needed supported with. I will support you anyway. But because you're asking and saying, I need guidance, show me what I'm supposed to do. And then the worst thing happens in the relationship, they lose their mind. You asked.
Yeah.
Right? So you're going to see it. You don't see it. You're not in control. You're saying, show me if I'm supposed to be in this relationship. And then something comes in sideways. You asked. And source, God, universe, whatever you're saying is saying, see, this isn't where you're supposed to be. But I gave you so many red flags that you didn't want to listen to. So you're getting blindsided now because you said, show me. Some people need the slap in the face.
Yeah.
I have chills right now.
Yeah. No, I think that's true. But then it also defies the idea that you are like a creator, right? We're all creators.
Right.
We all can create I mean, look around. All this stuff has been created from where? From thought to, have you ever built anything? That was one of the things I loved, like, doing radio, not so much with podcasts, but doing radio, especially when I began in the early 90s, it was just, you said it and it was done. Yeah. I had nothing tangible. I couldn't go home and go, hey, let me show you this great dick joke I told today. You understand what I'm saying? But if I hung a window, I could look at it and go, I did that, and there was real satisfaction in that.
But I disagree, because how do you know you didn't change somebody's life in that moment at the right time just because you didn't see it in front of your face?
That's a very good point, and I do remember when I was looking for jobs, like I would trying to go and grow and do things when I was in my 20s, getting a letter from somebody saying that they were contemplating suicide.
There you go.
And I told some stupid joke that made them laugh.
I have chills right now.
And they took a moment, and I used to put that as part of my package that I would send out, which I thought, now that I look back, I go, it was more of a private moment. I shouldn't have just said, hey, my jokes were so funny, they'll save your life. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
Like when you look at it that way.
Release that.
I know, but
because
I'm just saying. Like,
the magic is you did it.
Yeah.
You helped somebody here who needed that energy. That's all energy. They weren't standing next to you. You weren't hugging them.
No.
It was all energy. Yes. I have chills. At the right place, at the right time, at the right moment.
Yeah.
We can't make that shit up.
No, I think like the whole world is such vibration that the argument and the old philosophical, and I did a lot of philosophy in college, this silly, very base philosophical argument, does a tree make a noise if it falls in the woods and no one's there to hear it? And the answer to me is no, because nobody's there with the tools to interpret the vibration, therefore there is no sound. Right. But if you have the tools to interpret the vibration, then yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's just,
see?
It's all vibration. Everything is vibration. 100%. Everything is that. Tesla knew it. Tesla had healing powers. He knew he could figure out how to heal diseases and things.
Gifted.
And people got very upset with him, and they tried to shut him down, and they didn't want you to know this. And it's just a ride, folks. It's just a ride.
Crazy. But see how fast we are to shut everybody down all the time, constantly, because we don't either want to believe it or think it.
Right.
So dumb.
It is dumb. It is.
So dumb.
I don't want to hold. I'm just looking at the time.
We're good. I'm good.
Oh, all right. I just want to do one more quick thing just to find out where you are kind of today, what's going on. We can talk about the TLC show, how that kind of came about, and what you're doing now. And I think there's more projects coming. Am I wrong?
Yes.
Okay. There are. I'm not wrong.
No.
Okay, that's wonderful. We'll get to all that next, but first. In a world where legal troubles can turn your life upside down, finding yourself in a sticky situation like a DWI arrest or facing accusations of a crime you didn't knowingly commit can be overwhelming. That's why Circu and Circu Law in Pittsford is here to fight for your rights and personal freedoms. When panic creeps in, remember this. You don't have to face it alone. Call Circu and Circu at 585-385-2510. With a wealth of experience, they've litigated criminal cases of virtually every scenario, from misdemeanors to serious felony offenses. And don't just take my word for it. Here's what clients have said. There's no one better. I'm so thankful for what they did for my son in that courtroom, defended him, and truly cared about the outcome. If you've been charged with a crime and need a defense lawyer with integrity and experience both in and out of the courtroom, it's Circu and Circu. All consultations are held in the strictest confidence. They'll do everything in their power to ensure you're not deprived of the justice you deserve. Located in Pittsford, they serve the entire Rochester area as well as Western New York and beyond, and can be reached at 585-385-2510 or via email through the secure contact page at circulaw.com. Remember, when it comes to defending your rights, trust in Circu and Circu. Take a moment to tell you about my buddy Mike Mack and the incredible business he runs with his lovely wife, Kelsey, called Mack of All Trades. Yeah, the guys that built our studio. And they can build you one too. Or maybe you want an accessory dwelling, or some call it a she shed. Mack of All Trades has got you covered. But maybe you're thinking, Bill, I don't need a studio or a she shed. I just want my bathroom door to close properly, my kitchen faucet to stop leaking, and the drywall in the rec room fixed because, well, the kids were wrestling again. Guess what? Mack of All Trades can handle all that, too. They'll get it all off your plate quickly, professionally, and reasonably. All you have to do is call 585-202-9218. From handyman jobs to full bathroom remodels, she shed creations, electrical work, carpentry, you name it, they do it. The name says it all. It's Mack of All Trades. We're loving our studio, and you'll love whatever Mack of All Trades does for you. Call them at 585-202-9218 or visit mackofalltrades.net. I
went to see the gypsy, staying in a big hotel.
I always said that Dylan was overrated because these were the songs I heard, but Kevin wrote in and said, you got to play this one. And
his room was dark and
why do we always give names to like people who've had your gift that have come before? And there are many people, as you say, souls to come back. I do believe you choose to come into this human experience. You come in, and if you notice kids, they're just so still close to source, running around playing, and then we condition you and we get you in religion and we put these blinders and we ruin everything. But but always these names, so then people who may have a gift or have the right way to live, we go, well, they're fucking wrong. They're weird. We need to kill them. Get them out of here. Jesus,
don't kill us. We'll just come back.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's funny because I was telling you about this guy, Dr. Deep, Dr. Deep Singh. And Naughty Water, N-A-D-I, because somebody thought I said naughty water, and they looked up naughty water, and they got something completely different. But it's supposed to be like healing energy, and there's a naughty rod, and there's one at St. John Fisher, and you sit there, and if it's a man, you hold it in your right hand, and if you're charging water for a woman, a left hand, and it's supposed to change the water, and they've done it where they've frozen the water, and you can see the different patterns, and this, it's just very, very odd stuff. But Dr. Deep said to me, "You're an old soul."
For sure, I've told you that.
Yes, and it made me laugh. And he said, "No, you're all good. You're all good." Like he'll go through and I guess find the years that are blocking you. Oh. Must be some kind of old Indian, and I don't know, from India type of.
I'm sure
something where they can read the pulse, the body, and he can tell you specific years.
Crazy.
As to what's blocking you on things, and then just say, release, it's done. It's over.
It's over.
And the ones that I thought would come up did not, and all the ones that did come up.
Because your ego.
Yeah.
Because your ego thinks this is a bigger deal than it is.
Yeah. The one, I know, but if I told people, like one thing that had happened to me, it's traumatic. We have organizations now to weed this out from ever happening to a child ever again.
100%.
Right? But that wasn't what came up. That wasn't what came up. It was other things.
Interesting.
It was really interesting.
That's crazy. I mean, that's like real deep, get you. That's shadow work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? Shadow work being, and there are, you can get like shadow journals and how to do that. I don't know if I could properly define shadow work for people. It's sort of working with the hidden parts of you.
It's going back and forgiving yourself, working through all the trauma in this lifetime. Sometimes it's in a past lifetime, but it's okay. I'm stuck. I don't know how to get past this. I keep making bad decisions. How do I get past this? You got to go back to that trauma and figure out it's deep. I mean, you got to get real into the nitty gritty that you've blocked out of your life for years.
Let me ask this then. I have I've said it, and people again get. I'm not a huge fan of talk therapy because sometimes I feel like it keeps you stuck.
Interesting.
Where you were because you just keep rehashing the same thing over and over, and so then that vibration stays, and you're back in that. And I'm feeling shitty, and this is what happened. This is what always happens. This is and I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that's just my.
No, I think everyone communicates differently. I'm a talker outer. I have to talk it out because I have to read your energy to tell me if it was okay or bad. I don't even want you to talk, but I'm going to tell you what But a lot of my clients, I tell them write them in their journal, burn it. Write it in your journal. Write every detail that you don't want to say or talk or think again, and then burn it because you're telling your subconscious, I'm done with this.
Yes.
You're telling the universe, take this from me. I have chills right now.
Yes.
So instead of talk therapy, you're doing your own inner soul, but I'm a talker outer, so I'm going to talk everything out.
Yeah. I don't want to, I know we have kind of a heart out here, but the TLC show, which really was, I think, helpful to a lot of people.
Thank you.
And seemed to do very well. Yeah. Television is a fickle animal.
Sure is.
It's a very fickle animal. And the show did end.
It did.
Yeah. But I think ended with a lot of people going, ooh, there's something here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
So what is happening now? Do you do a podcast now?
Don't, but why are you the 20th person that said that to me?
I don't know because
the universe is like, Jenny, you need a podcast. Well, and my brain's like, you're not organized enough to do a podcast. Okay. Look what you're doing.
Yeah.
I could never do that.
You could have somebody, look, you got smart kids who probably have the same gifts as you. They could run everything.
My kids are lazy as shit.
Nah, because they're only lazy because you haven't piqued their interest in something.
True, I agree.
That's it.
I agree.
That's all.
I agree.
All. But I think that, I don't know if a podcast, because I would think most of it would be call-in. People trying to get right. So that sort of thing. Anyway, is there another show coming, I would assume, or something in the works, or can you even say?
So this is what I want to say. I want to say that I do not believe TLC was my ending on TV.
I don't either.
I felt like it was just the beginning, and I learned so much about myself. I don't even care about anything else about myself, what my gifts could be used for, how I could heal. Like there was so much inside of there. And I feel like now I'm ready to do it again. And I want to show what I've learned and how much better it can be.
Yeah.
So I have chills. I'm not giving up. There are things in the works. I'm pulling from the cloud.
Yeah.
I'm pulling from the cloud.
Sure.
And I have people that arrived from the cloud to help in this journey. So I'm very excited. I am going to say that don't give up on me on TV.
Because there's another saying that I have on here that they always make fun of me about, and it's the barrier to entry is gone.
Yeah, 100%.
And by that I mean look around.
Yeah.
Right. I'm doing what I've always done, but it's all me. It's all me, which is good and bad. It's only been more good as of late, at least in my mind. It's changed nothing, but it's just sort of in my head the way I perceive it. And I think that the idea that the barrier to entry is gone, you could probably just set up a camera and start talking and go on YouTube and,
Well, maybe.
So I'm just saying that's simple. I think a better production is nicer. I think something that's a little smoother. I get it. You don't need the rough edges. I understand. But if it were to start that way, I don't know that someone else who has all those things wouldn't pick it up and go, damn, let's go.
Well, as we're talking about all of this, you're the 20th person. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
In the past 3 months to say it. So maybe the universe is like, Jenny. And I'm like, So I'm going to revisit that.
Sometimes, waiting for the right thing, which isn't, I understand where that would be, but sometimes thinking like we don't know, but God, I'll tell you what, being naive sometimes is the greatest gift in the world.
Of course.
Right? I mean, I even heard it this morning on ESPN. The Mavs and the Minnesota Timberwolves are playing. And the Dallas loses, right, to that game. And they're going, Timberwolves should have lost that game, but those guys don't know it. They don't realize that they should have lost it. They're such a young team and I go, yeah, because when you're young, that's when you just did things without really thinking about it. You weren't out to hurt anybody. That's not the point. You were just doing what you did because it felt natural. And, I'll try this and I'll try this. And guess what? It always worked out. And as you have said, what do you say in the morning? I'm ready to receive.
Yeah, I'm ready to receive.
I always think everything is always working out for me.
Agreed.
Everything is always working out for me.
And if you're having a bad day, you're always supposed to say, show me how much better it can get.
Oh.
Show me how much better it can get.
Yeah.
Show me.
There are times where I'm such a believer in momentum. Like, you could stop a car at the top of a hill.
Yeah.
Like if I pushed it a little bit and then ran in front of it, that's great. I let that thing get going, and it's just, hold on, it'll be over in a minute. You'll be flattened, but it'll be over in a minute. And you can see where momentum in your attitude and what you say, and all of a sudden this, and then this happens, and then that happens, and the next thing you know, and it's when little things happen that I start to laugh and go, okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. Take your foot off the gas.
But that's okay because you have to pay attention to that. So your intuition is like, whoa.
Yeah.
But thank God you're stopping. Some people don't. And then you're flattened.
Yeah.
And then you're like, now I got to pick myself back up and I got to start all over again. And I don't want to do this again.
Yeah.
If I had just listened.
Right.
Right. But you knew it. Your intuition.
Yes.
You have to stop.
And that's the thing that I think is just very interesting with all this, because I don't know. Sometimes, look, nothing ever stays the same. It's always going to be changing.
Yeah.
But you just need to be open and go with the flow.
100%.
You can either fight the stream or go with the stream.
You have to. You have to.
That's it. All right. So we're looking for you on TV. Look, there's so many things now. There's the Roku channel. There's this channel. There's that channel. There's everything. Some guy from Weed TV wants to put video of the podcast up. I mean, look, if we can get that, I guarantee there's something out there way better than Weed TV.
Well, I'm not done. So I know that.
Yeah.
How I'm going to get there, I don't know.
Right.
I'm
but you
pulling
don't
from
need
the
to
club.
know.
Right. I'm just pulling, and however it happens, it happens.
Right.
I know in my soul I'm not done. I knew in my soul we would get TLC.
Yeah.
So I'm trusting.
You ever write a book?
No.
Why?
I did write a book, but it was therapy.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's not my jam. It's really hard to contain me.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
100%.
I would probably need to
Words don't teach.
sit in a hotel room with someone for hours and let them write it while I spoke.
Yeah. There's also, dictation software and all that stuff too. I'm just thinking there's lots of things here that will get your message out. I just think there's lots.
I'm sure there is.
I think there's lots of ways
I'm sure.
for that to all work out. Well, it has been a pleasure to see you. You look wonderful. Texas seems to be treating you well. I heard it was a horrible place. What a mistake to go to Texas. My goodness.
God. I've heard it a million times.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did.
But you know what the best part is? It's about energy. The energy there is totally different.
Your energy never wavered.
No.
Because I saw you just before you went. I think you were still here, maybe closing on the house, and Mike had already been.
Yeah.
But your energy never wavered. There was never any, at least, I guess we could call it publicly, but but there was never any. This is it. This is what we're doing.
Because it aligned. I asked, and it was given. 4 months. We sold everything.
Yeah.
Who does that?
No, nobody. But
that's what I'm trying to say. I had to trust that it was the right thing.
But that's the point. Is it can happen that
100%.
quickly
Yeah.
if you just line up and believe. You
2
just have to
houses,
just
a
trust.
truck.
Yeah.
Like we literally sold our lives.
Well, I really appreciate you coming.
Thank you for having me.
Jenny. Where can people go? Jenny, is it mamamedium.com?
No, JennieTheMedium.com.
JennieTheMedium. Jennie.
Correct.
TheMedium.com.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
Check that out, and I'm sure there's a waiting list. But if you're patient, you'll get there, and you may find the answers you're looking for. For Mama Medium, Jennie Marie, I'm Bill Moran. We'll see you tomorrow. If you're in desperate need of a break from the chaos of everyday life, then look no further than the Woodcliff Hotel and Spa. You're a one-way ticket to bliss that's right around the corner. Imagine waking up in a luxurious suite overlooking breathtaking views of rolling hills and lush greenery. Ah, yes, this is the life. But wait, it gets even better. Indulge your senses at their world-class spa, where skilled hands and soothing aromas will melt away your stress faster than ice cream on a hot day. Treat yourself to a massage, a facial, or maybe even a mani-pedi, because you deserve it. And let's not forget about their gourmet dining options. From farm-fresh salads to mouth-watering steaks, their culinary wizards will tantalize your taste buds with every bite. There's even more. You can dive into their sparkling pool, work up a sweat in their state-of-the-art fitness center, or simply lounge in a hammock and soak up the sun. The choice is yours. Escape the hustle and bustle and embrace the serenity at Woodcliff Hotel and Spa. Book your getaway today and let the relaxation begin. Woodcliff Hotel and Spa, where every moment is a treat for the senses and every guest leaves feeling rejuvenated and refreshed. Learn more at woodcliffhotelspa.com.